Hey YouTube, this is Sandra back again with another YouTube video. Just want to say that this is a totally different video. It might be the start of something new. Not entirely sure how I'm still formatting these videos, but what you're seeing right now is a drawing of Fleeing Storm Shadow, which is an original concept art designed by Trent Kaniuga from, I think it's from one of his comics from Twilight Monk. Not entirely sure, but he actually did a whole entire video of him, and he did like a whole time lapse, but it was done digitally from in Photoshop. But I decided to do it with pen and ink, I guess. I don't know, I guess something traditional, but it's a really phenomenal illustration piece, and I decided to just do a little art study of it, and just to show you guys all in real time of how I'm drawing it, and just give you all an update of how I've been doing with the pages in my comic book. It's been a while since I've posted from do a full-length YouTube video channel or do anything in my car, but I decided to do something completely else, or just kind of started, instead of doing like these weekly video updates, which I had in the past of me just talking in my car. Still working on my comic book, nothing has changed, just like the formatting of the video, just have a lot going on in life, just want to focus more on the actual drawing process of it. Like, I know I was talking in one of my previous YouTube videos of how I am always, I want to focus more on on the art style of it, because if I have a YouTube channel, I'm mostly just editing videos, which I still enjoy. Like, it's a nice little side thing I do on the occasion, but I think now I want to dedicate more time to drawing, instead of like, oh my God, like I'm going to get another YouTube video out, you know what I mean? Even though they were like really quick, they were like little snippets of it, and there's very minimal editing to it, but I decided to just, change things up. And I don't know, as far as my content goes, I want to be able to show you as far as my art drawings or something. So I'm gonna be like, I did one before where I did like an ASMR in one of my previous videos where I inked the whole entire manga page, and for this one I am currently just doing like an art study of it, and I want to do more of like inking and stuff, like doing actual videos of me and just maybe talking, doing these more on a less, like maybe like once a month or every couple weeks, so that it's not always like all the time, like, every week. It's just, I just did just did a rough sketch, blah, blah, blah. Here I have more things to share with you, and you guys can watch, me drawing in real time. I think that would be a super cool thing to do. And I still talk about my comic book, and I feel like my content, there'll be more to watch with my content, I feel like. I don't know. I'm just trying to, continue experimenting with this channel and see where things go, really. Thank you for all the viewers and all the subscribers, and I've been posting more shorts of like, oh my God, what did I do, so it's been pretty cool. I guess as far as an update goes, I've been like posting like daily little shorts where they just kind of are like, oh, like here's a little process of page 11 where I like showed them the process. Like I was just showing like, oh my God, like let me do the screen tones, let me do this, and I don't know, I got some good feedback. People are like, oh my God, that looks like bleach. I'm like, yeah, it does look like bleach. I'm starting to look at it, I'm like, oh my God, it does. Like I did, I copied some Tight Kubo stuff when I was younger and stuff like that. I grew up on Bleach. It was phenomenal and everything. I loved like the original Soul Society arc. It was just, I remember like as a teenager, that was like the highlight of my day. I just watched Bleach on Adult Swim, and then I would watch like Naruto on Toonami and all that stuff. So I don't know, I just found that really like invigorating, like very exciting. So I feel like it's showing in my work right now. And, I'm glad people are seeing that, and I could see people are seeing the inspiration of it. And like, because Tight Kubo is really great with his character designs, and I am obviously I love character designs. Like when I focus writing a story or anything, it's always, I feel like the character is the most important thing. Well, not the most important thing, but first you need to have a storyline. I feel like I do struggle more like setting up a storyline or something like that. But, when it comes to characters, I try and come up with something unique, like you have a Grim Reaper where they find out they're dead and they have to come and they're surprised to be dead, and there's like really nothing they can do. They're dead, and they want to find a way how to come back to life, right? And like right now, if you've seen my shorts or anything, I saw him, I've started doing the page 12 right now, and in the meantime I did complete a couple pages. And like I started noticing as far as my inking, like for the first 8 or 9 pages I've been using a different brush, but then I switched over to a round brush and my lines look so much more like an actual manga, like starting playing with screen tones more, adding more value into my work so my drawings don't look as flat. And I started like adding that, like the flats of the shapes and stuff, and they are beginning to resemble more that of an arrowhead, I guess. And I guess all those little like art studies I've been doing are helping me now trying to get my manga. And I just also have just like better, like I'm able to draw my hands without like tracing them anymore. Like tracing them, like breaking them into shapes and stuff. So I guess the progress I've been making on in my artwork has been a lot better. And I'm still bad with color, and I don't know, I think I want to do maybe my next comic book. I have no idea what I have an idea of what I want to do next, like after these 31 pages are complete. Because right now, page 12, I still have 9, okay, I know my math, okay, math wasn't my strong suit back in high school. I mean, it's pretty decent with algebra and all that stuff, but I have 19 more pages to go in this comic book, and then it'll be available on Gumroad and all that stuff if you're ever interested. If you want Grim Reapers, if you like the Grim Reapers, and 2 people dying and trying to save a graveyard from his arch nemesis, if you're into that type of stuff, that'd be great. So, but I still have a long way to complete that. And like as I'm just looking through the progress I've made, it's been pretty good. What else we got here? Man, I don't even know. I feel like I'm just rambling on. Just like, I just want to give you all like an update. Like I want to thank you all for, supporting me, and I'm glad you guys liking my art style and everything. And just like I mostly like posting more stuff on YouTube, as that's where most of my like audience is and stuff. Okay, now I know my train of thought. What I left off in. I'm gonna leave this raw, unedited, blah blah blah. Like it is. Okay, so I have this character that I invented called Joel and Tusk, right? I played around with them way back when, and they were inspired by like Invader Zim and all that stuff. And I would want to really, I don't know, I think I should do another colored comic book. And as far as more content that I can release is I have gathered my other comics that I did. I entered one for like the manga silent competition. There was then you've got my Spirits of the West, my 40-page one-shot, and there is the Knocked Out one. So I'm thinking of releasing them here on YouTube, just as you could like read them through, with like I'll add like sound effects and background music to them, which I think will elevate the mood, I hope. You can still read them for free also on on Webtoons. And I have not shared with you all called The Gymnast, which is a 5-page one-shot silent manga audition where I submitted it to the contest. However, while I didn't win anything, I got some good feedback, and I will make a video about it. So instead of a drawing video for that one, I think I'll just talk in front of the camera. So I might do another thing where I'm just talking or drawing in front of the camera. Like I said, I'll see what I could do, but I think if I'm going to talk about an experience, maybe, I don't know, I could be drawing something or maybe redrawing a panel of the page or something like that. So I might think of another idea for a YouTube video for like where I'm sending the gymnast, or I'm redrawing a panel or something and talking about my experience in real time. Because right now I recorded the actual video separately from the audio, as I'm recording this audio just separately. So I don't know. And as far as going back to Joel and Tusk, I can what's it called? They do like a colored comic of it. I wrote this idea called Joel and Tusk. They are gonna find gold in New York City, but however the gold is found in a toilet in like a bathroom. I know, but I think I could do it as like a fun colors. Like I suck at color, but I do want to make some color. Like I want to make I don't know, and a lot of people in my life have told me like, oh my God, like you need you need color in there, like you need actual color. And that's another thing. It's like, as I draw everything in black and white, I do pen and ink mostly, and I'm not like, I've picked up painting a little bit. Like I can do watercolors here and there. I can do, but I mean, I feel like drawing and pen and ink is kind of my bread and butter, but I've been trying to push myself like painting. Like I got these like little like tutorial books, and I've been doing the occasional digital painting, the occasional digital painting stuff, just so I can get better, I guess, Yeah, I know, hear me ramble about my thoughts and all. But I'm just happy to share with you all like my little journey here. I know when I started this YouTube channel, it was originally supposed to dedicate my stuff to what's called like the animation. And I don't know, I've been really thinking about animation a lot. Like I've really, really, really like been thinking about it. And once I wrap up some projects I'm working on my personal life with this comic book with Grimm, and 2 film projects that I'm working on with some friends, I do like, my ultimate goal is to get rid of the Creative Suite, because right now they upped it up by $11 per month. Like the Adobe Creative Suite is gotten really like more expensive, and I don't know, I just think there's better alternatives to like finding stuff like. And one program I've been obviously eyeing at has been Clip Studio Paint, because that's where like all the manga and comics are done basically. And it has all the tools. Like I've made my tools in Photoshop, like my own screen tones and all that stuff. And I think I could also do like animation in Clip Studio Paint. And I don't know, I'm also thinking of jumping into Blender and maybe doing 3D. I know I studied animation at Animation Mentor like about 3 years ago and stuff. I only had like 2 classes left and stuff, but I don't know, it's a long time, but I don't know, I've thought about maybe I should like finish it or not. Like I've thought about animation, or just like learn animation on my own. I've been really, thinking about it and stuff like that, which is what the original YouTube channel was. Black Knight Studios was formed, but I think it's important to maybe bring my roots back in some way. Like, I don't know, I feel like this channel has been evolving, and I don't know, like originally I didn't want to do comic books when I was a kid. I was about like 12 or 13. I wanted to only be a writer. But I picked up drawing a lot later afterwards, and then I'm like, oh, so I'm doing comics now. But then I thought, well, comics don't have like sound effects, or they're not like so the original reason why I jumped into animation versus comics originally was because animation is brought to life. Now comics are brought to life, obviously, I love comics or manga. I just love the artwork. However, it is that animation was always brought to life. You can move it, and I feel like I chose that to pursue. But I feel like I'm going back to an old passion. I've been doing these past 2 years of comics. Like I've done like storyboarding and stuff. So they kind of just go, back and forth basically. Like I feel like they go hand in hand essentially. So which is pretty cool, And yeah, it's just been very like, like figuring, stuff out. And, I just want to share my stories with the world. I think at the moment, doing with the comics, but yeah, Black Knight Studios is still on. And I mean, as far as becoming an animator goes, right now, I guess maybe that's currently, obviously has been on hiatus for a while, like that little thing, like I was vlogging my weekly thing of how I was in school. I don't know, there's days I miss it though, but I don't know, I watched Zootopia the other day, Zootopia 2, and I really thought about like, animation and all that stuff. I started watching Ranma Half recently as well, but yeah, I think, I'm just going to focus on the comics, and they kind of go hand in hand. Eventually I could transform them into animations, and maybe at one point I will make them someday. Like I feel like I will make them at one point, like animations or something like that. And it's just some things I've really wanted to kind of do, like, Black Knight Studios is, a studio, and I guess comics are in the making of it as well. So I would love to that would be really cool to see my actual comics be transformed into actual like animation. Like that would be super dope. Like I would love for that to happen. I know I'm only one person, and I don't know, I just think I feel like, storyboarding was like the original pursuit, which, comics and storyboards, essentially everything is adapted. So it's really like super cool. Like, I don't know, when I look at comics, sometimes I have this little secret. I geek out a lot. Like when I watch Spy Family, I have all the manga, like all the volumes of them. And I would like look at them like, oh my God, how much did they adapt from the source material to the anime, So I was like, oh, I was like a little, like a little nerd about that. Yeah. So I was just like, like geeking out over that. Like, yeah, I kind of would do that. So it's really nice to see like comics. So I guess my storyboard is done. So maybe, my comics could be, I don't know, I'd love to see them in animation format, like an anime. Oh, that'd be phenomenal. Like done by a Japanese studio. That'd be like super cool, or, I'm making my own stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just rambling my thoughts out. Like, cause like, it's been a while since I've, like uploaded or done anything like as far as doing my weekly videos just because of like, not really having much to share. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of repetitive and stuff. So maybe I need to change up some things on my YouTube channel and do stuff maybe like once a month, do more like, drawing videos as I draw. I figured that would be more appropriate for that, like do live streaming, because my computer right now is not set up to like record, like screen record and stuff. Like, it is, but it takes up a lot of space. So I wonder if I could just do it in real time, like when I draw on paper, especially with the whole AI thing happening. I think, I like, even me personally, I like to draw on paper better than digitally. Like digitally is great, like I love the inking process. It's obviously less messy, but I do love like holding my pencil and just drawing, it's like great, like it feels great to draw on paper. Now I've been doing so much stuff digitally that I was like, oh my God, like 2 months ago I went to my art class and it was just me drawing. Like it was just me, drawing from life, drawing, a portrait, drawing figure drawing. And it just felt good to, draw on paper, have my art teacher, be around people. I didn't feel lonely or anything like that. So that was pretty, it's pretty nice. I haven't seen my art teacher in like 2 or 3 years until it was like 2 months ago. So I really, enjoyed my time, just going there and just drawing. And I have a secret to say is that I haven't drawn from life in weeks. I don't know when's the last time I sat down and drew an object from life. It's also either been from a picture. So I have obviously, just been kind of busy, with working and just like, hang out with just like with my friends, and just life in general, the all 960, the 360, whatever. But I still want to share my comics and my stories with the world. I think Black Knight Studios is something that I want to, continue, building. And I really want to thank you all for the support as always. And, everyone in my personal life and people, and everyone here on YouTube. And I'm really happy to, share this all with you. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video with some background music. And I shall see you all next time.